Imagine you're on your own property. The cops are parked at the entrance to your drive. The turn onto your drive is on a dangerous stretch of road, so it must be kept clear. You're expecting your kids home any moment, so you shout to the cops to clear the entrance to the drive. Then, this happens.
Oh, here we go. Give me your fucking hand. Give me your hand. Let's get the... Oh! Here we go. You and Barbour 1015 1 minute. Oh! Alright, come on, sit you.
Now, this was Deputy Mayle's version of events taken straight from his police report. Officers were dispatched in the area of the DOH garage in Philippi, West Virginia for a complaint of a deer strike. This officer arrived on scene to help assist the incident. After being on scene for approximately 5 minutes, this officer heard a male subject yelling from his property. This action hindered this officer's ability to assist in the deer strike investigation. The male subject continued to yell at law enforcement, demanding law enforcement to move their vehicles as this officer's patrol unit was blocking the subject's driveway. This officer went to move his patrol unit for the male when he continued to yell at this officer. This officer approached the male subject, later identified as James Sublett, to better hear him, because this officer could not make out what he was saying entirely. When this officer approached the defendant advised this officer, "This is private property and you need to get the F on." At this point, this officer detected a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from the defendant's person. This officer advised the defendant that there was a motor vehicle accident and he had to make sure everyone was okay. The defendant approached this officer in an aggressive manner and advised this officer that, "I am a coal miner and have life flighted more than you." This officer inquired the defendant for his identification card, to which the defendant refused and attempted to walk away. This action made by the defendant hindered this officer's secondary investigation. This officer restrained the defendant and attempted to place him in wrist restraints. Then the defendant began to resist further. This officer escorted the defendant to the ground and placed him into custody. So handcuffs are wrist restraints, and violently slamming somebody to the ground is, of course, escorting.
Now what are we doing? Scene of Cody's deer. Get up your base horse, Larry. Let's go. You go into my car. We can go to your car. The scene of the deer strike. Okay, the scene of the deer strike. I ain't the one resisting arrest. Take your seat. I'll be more than glad to. Actually, hang on. Anything gonna stick post at me? Nope. Cigarettes, wallet, cell phone. Alright, take your seat. Fucking drunk dumbass. You saw the flight? Hey, I got my camera. You wanna come? Sure. Just a second.
After arresting the homeowner, Deputy Anabolic, "I can do as I please," shows us just how far he had to walk, trespassing on a family's property. To arrest, said father. Now he's going to gaslight the man's wife and children.
Is his wife here? I have his keys for you. So listen. Okay? He's going to jail tonight, okay? There's no need for that to be yelling and everything like that, okay? I can smell the alcohol on his breath, alright?
Yes.
So he is going to go to jail for...
We're trying to deal with a car wreck.
So Mayle tells the man's wife that he's under arrest because he was intoxicated and he was yelling, he was shouting. But the report said it was because he demanded his identification card and it was not provided. There are a number of problems with that. One is that it's not illegal to drink or even be intoxicated on your own property. You're not in public. That's not illegal. Secondly, there is no requirement in West Virginia that you have to carry an identification card around with you and present it to a police officer when it's demanded, even in a public place. This was not a traffic stop. He wasn't required to have a driver's license on him. He could have been walking around in his front yard like Uncle Eddie in a robe. Third, and most importantly, even if there was such a requirement, the officer had already walked well within the curtilage of the home, all the way up the driveway to confront the man for yelling down the driveway towards him, demanding that a police car be moved off his property. So he has every right to do that. West Virginia is in the Fourth Circuit. There's actually a Fourth Circuit case from 1994, Kuklane versus Whittington, that denied qualified immunity to a police officer for entering within the curtilage of a home and performing a warrantless arrest for violating a noise ordinance. Now, how similar is that to this? The man standing in his driveway in his yard, making noise towards the police officers, and they're so sensitive that disrupted their investigation, allegedly, so they have to trespass onto his property and arrest him without a warrant? That's the big problem. They did not have a warrant. All the way back in 1994, qualified immunity was denied to a police officer for doing that in regards to violating a noise ordinance, which that may have actually been illegal. Shouting down towards a police officer demanding they get off your property is not illegal. Quite the opposite. And here's a quote from that same case. "It's difficult to conceive of a warrantless home arrest that would not be unreasonable, i.e. illegal, under the Fourth Amendment when the underlying offense is extremely minor." That was talking about a noise ordinance. Here, we're not even talking about a crime. Also, controlling binding law in the Fourth Circuit is that people have the right to question or challenge the authority of a police officer, and any resulting arrest for obstruction violates the First Amendment. Even if he had a warrant, he couldn't arrest him in West Virginia because the West Virginia Supreme Court has said that an obstruction charge requires forcible or illegal conduct that actually interferes with a police officer's discharge of official duties. So he wouldn't even be able to get a warrant for that, because just shouting at a police officer from your own property is not illegal in West Virginia, even if you don't intend it to be First Amendment speech. What about intoxication, like he told his wife?
There is no need for that to be yelling and everything like that, okay? I can smell the alcohol on his breath, all right?
Yes.
So he is going to go to jail for...
We're trying to deal with a car wreck.
And actually, if you look at the dispatch report, what Deputy Mayle told the dispatcher at the time of the arrest was that the arrest was for disorderly conduct and public intox.
I came out, but it was already too late.
If he was just putting off the alcohol a little bit...
We were even trying to move the car like he asked.
I know. I'm not mad. I understand.
Philippi town police officer, you can see Mayle's police cruiser, how it's blocking the driveway, and all he would have to do is back up. There's an entire space, maybe more, for him to back up and not block the driveway. They didn't try.
So where do I go get him tomorrow?
So you can actually go post his bond at the magistrate's office tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay.
He'll be at Tiger Valley Regional Jail. So.
And that's where I have to go get him?
Yes.
Yes. Which is, you know, that's at...
No.
So,
I don't know.
hey, calm down.
Elkins, right?
Calm down.
It's
So
outside off 30.
So listen, you're going to hit 33. Okay?
You want me to go with you tomorrow, Mama? I'll take off work to
That
go
might
with
be
you.
best. So listen,
I'll
you're
go
going
with
to
Christian.
hit 33.
I know he's-
First exit on your right.
I know where to go. I know where to go.
Sounds good.
I
Y'all
know-
be safe.
I know he's.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's been drinking. And there's something I can do for you, sir?
No, I just need
No,
to
All right. Well, listen. There's no reason to be aggressive. Okay.
He's
I'm not being
mad.
aggressive. I don't mean to come off that way.
Okay.
He's just mad because that's his dad, and
I
he
understand.
went to the ground like that. And
I
we have
understand.
another kid in the house crying.
I understand. Well, listen. Do what you need to do. Get the family situated.
I will.
If you guys need anything, call us at the sheriff's office. Okay. Yeah, have a good evening.
Okay, after they turn off the body cams, the homeowner is taken away for processing. They never tell him what he's charged with. As I showed you, they told dispatch it was public intox and disorderly conduct, both of which require a public place, not private property. So officially, he's later booked with obstruction. He spends 14 hours in the regional jail.
Welcome to Public Opinions Television. Have you left a like?